So there is no easy way of saying this, but if you haven't noticed, we are in the second month of 2020, and I am still signing things with yada yada 2019, which means that I am not ready for this new year. And I mean, are we ever going to be ready for a change of year until it's March? That is my real question of this video. Hello beautiful bookworms, my name is Katerina and welcome to my channel, and today I am here with only one sweater, actually with my owl of luck, because it's 20 degrees outside, not inside, sadly. It's a bit cold inside, but whatever. Because it is spring in Portugal, apparently, and the next week, at the time I'm filming this, will be cold and raining again. So, I don't know, I just wanted to tell you what I've read for January, and that is why we're here, so let's just move on and accept that our country is very, very strange in what matters to weather. I hope that you guys are not having spring weather or winter weather at the same time, because yeah, that will be weird. I don't know what I'm saying. So in the month of January, I read 3 books, I read 3 graphic novels, and I read 1 comic issue. So I will start with the graphic novels and the comic, and then I will talk about the 3 books that I read. And I hope that February is as good as a month as January was, because although it might not sound a lot, it was pretty good for the amount of shit that I had to be doing, honestly. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is actually something that I have a video about already. So I am not going to be talking a lot about that graphic novel series in this wrap-up, because I have talked a lot about it in that video, and I also compare it to the TV show that has to do with the graphic novel that actually came out through Netflix in January as well, which I watched and really, really enjoyed, actually, as I did the graphic novels. And those are the October Faction graphic novels. So these are by Steve Niles and Damien Worm, and as you can see, they are dark, creepy, moody, hunter, sort of supernatural kind of things. So I read volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3 of October Faction, and I also watched the TV show, which I do recommend that you do read them and you do watch the TV shows, because reading these is an experience, because the art of this is beautiful and amazing and really, really dark and moody, and I don't know, my emo heart loved it. And then the series has a little bit more plot and a little bit more, I don't know, modern characters, and it kind of makes sense in a way. So I don't know, I really enjoy them both for different things, but I think it was a cool adaptation, and I think that the original material is also very important. So yeah, I'm not going to talk a lot about this. This is basically about this family of monster hunters and the monster of the day, and what they have to do to win or to hunt them and not die. That's it. That's the tea. It also talks a little bit about dysfunctional families and all of the situations of being in a different family, but it's mainly sort of supernatural, but darker and grittier, if you know what I mean. And in a complete family, not just 2 brothers, which is interesting, but we've had that, and this one is interesting as well. Then the comic issue that I read is Ruby Volume 3. So you've probably seen this in my book haul for January, if it came before this video, which I'm not sure, because I pre-film stuff, because I don't have the life to just film and put out videos, so sorry for that. But yeah, so Ruby is basically about this team of magical girls, and they hunt and kill Grimm, which are evil monsters. But there's political plots, there is societal questions, there is mention of racism and xenophobia, there's a lot of interesting situations with just magical girls having powers, and it's really, really interesting. I really like it. I would recommend, though, that you watch the animation, which is by Rooster Teeth, is also called Ruby, RWBY. And these are sort of like a complement to the Ruby animated series. You could read them without watching the animated series, but I am not really sure if you would understand them, hence why I don't want to develop a lot about this, because this is about parts that were in between episodes of the animated series that we haven't watched. So yeah, it elaborates a little bit on the backside of the characters and what happens and then what happened in between of stuff. But if you've watched the episodes, you would have more ground to actually understand what's going on. And yeah, but I'm absolutely loving this. The art is really cool. This is by Bennett and Dolfo, Hetrick, Bagnoli, and Prianto. A lot of people working on this, and it is pretty fun, and I'm really enjoying reading the comics. And now for the 3 books that I read. I am going to talk about them together, but only holding one because they're very big and my hands, I can't do it, okay? But I will show them for the sake of showing them together because they're a trilogy. I actually started, and finished a complete trilogy in January. Who am I? I don't know. Okay, so the trilogy that I read in January is called the All Souls Trilogy, and that trilogy, of course, has 3 books. So the first one is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Arkness. The second one is Shadow of Night, also by Deborah Arkness. And the third one is The Book of Life, Would You Know, also by Deborah Arkness. So yeah, these are the Portuguese editions, by the way, and this one is my favorite because it's purple and it's my favorite color and it's gorgeous, and I do believe this is Venice, so lovely. So showing you the first book, however, this is A Discovery of Witches, the first book in the All Souls trilogy, and this is the marker. I have not called upon you, bookmark. Okay, so this is basically a romance, historical fiction sort of thing, paranormal as well, in which our main character is Diana Bishop. She is a scholar, she studies alchemy and history, she's a professor and she's a researcher, and she is also a witch. She's the last one of the Bishop witches, which remotes to Salem and whatever, but she does not want to use her powers for reasons, so she's not really a witch, she is just a witch by blood. And one day, she's working in Oxford at the library researching some stuff, and she comes upon this book called the Ashmole something. What's the name of that shit? Yeah, no. The Ashmole 782, I believe. I don't know. I'm not gonna even. If you noticed, I don't know the name of the book, but whatever. So she finds this alchemical book and she touches it, and for some reason that book has a spell on it, and every single creature, vampires, demons, and other witches, know that she touched it, and so they start gathering together in order to get the manuscript, because some people say that that manuscript is in fact the Book of Life that contains all of the secrets for the existence of witches, demons, and vampires, which are the 3 types of creatures that exist alongside humans in this world created by Deborah Arkness. And in the process of actually this thing happening, she meets this dude called Matthew Claremont, and he is a vampire, and he really wants to know what that manuscript has to hide, because he's a sort of a researcher in biology and genetics and DNA, sorry, I was going to say it in a Portuguese way, Jesus, in DNA and everything, and so he's very interested in the manuscript, and he sees that she got her hands on it, and they start this strange relationship because apparently he wants to know more about her than the manuscript by itself. And this cover shines, and I'm not very happy with the fact that I'm probably blinding you right now, so I'm gonna do this. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, is this trilogy cheesy? Yes, sir, it is. It is a paranormal romance that could be said is sort of like Outlander by Diana Gabaldon, if you know that. Sort of the same thing with the lovers, whatever. But it does have historical fiction parts, and I do really enjoy a good historical fiction thing. Not probably the most reliable thing, but interesting in a way. And I would be lying if I said that I haven't read these each. And they're like, Jesus, go inside, I told you. They're like 700 pages. Almost every single one of them, and I have read them each in 1 week. So 3 weeks of January I read this because this is very compelling. If you enjoy a nice sort of paranormal romance, if you like witches, if you like vampires, this could potentially be your thing. I have been told by some people that there's some problematic things in here, which I would agree at some point, but I have never seen our main character, Diana Bishop, be problematic by herself. I think that she's a good role model, to be honest, and I really enjoy how she's the hero of this story and now she's the main character and not a stupid Mary Sue main character, like she's always complaining about everything. That's not the point, and people are powerful, there's nice secrets, there's family drama, it's very nice. I really enjoyed it, and I would be lying if I said that one day I wouldn't reread this, because these are fun. And you're supposed to have fun as well, and not only read the best thing in literature. So, is this the best thing ever written? Absolutely not. It has a lot of errors, particularly translations, which don't get me started on why translating books is terrible, because I'm pretty sure that some sentences that are here are badly translated, and sometimes they really, really are, and I have no doubt about that. But not only that, it's not amazing, but it was amazing for me in a way that it was very, very enjoyable, and I really liked it, and I would potentially reread it eventually. But is my favorite trilogy of all time? No, of course not. But it is fun. So if you liked anything that I said about this, scholars, magic, romance, even time traveling, you did not hear this from me, you would like this, and I would appreciate it if we stopped being ashamed of liking certain books just because they are not literary classics, which you do know that I read classics, so every form of literature is cool. I enjoy this. Maybe you will too. If you don't, that's fine. We can be friends, I believe. And that was all that I read this month. I do agree it was not a lot, but since every single one of these books of this trilogy had 700 pages almost, I am fairly happy with what I've read, with everything that I had to do, and doing my life, living my life, you know the drill. And I am actually being able to do a wrap-up without it being 20 minutes long. So I am going to shut up here and just hope that you guys had a great January for reading, and for other things as well, of course. And if you want, tell me in the comments down below if you know any of these books, if you've read them, if you like them, if you hate them, that's cool. I just like to hear opinions, or tell me what book you read in January that you really enjoyed, and if you want to recommend me a book, because why not? I would like to read books that you recommend. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. So yeah, happy readings to you all. I am very, very tired. Bye bye.